Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with ReadyNet Solutions. Today's host is our good friend, Bill Pedersen, and he is their Voice Product Director and also in sales, and he will be presenting today. If anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and Bill will be able to answer them at the end of today's presentation. Bill, thank you so much for being with us again. Love our partnership, and I'm very happy to have you here with us sharing something new. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Julie, thank you so much, and thanks everyone for joining us on this. Well, we're July 2023. It's hot, I'm sure, almost everywhere in the country, but we are so glad to have you here. I'm Bill Pedersen. Like Julie mentioned, I'm the Voice and Product Director and also in sales for ReadyNet Solutions here based in Salt Lake City. And today, as promised from our previous webinar that we've done, we're talking about the new GSX 1204, which is our 4G LTE managed voice router, small to medium business gateway. This is an exciting new product for ReadyNet, and it's a new product in a sense that it's taking us into a direction that ReadyNet hasn't really not played much in, but we saw there's an opportunity, and we had a product that was a good fit for it. But as you're familiar with ReadyNet in the past, we offer a lot of managed routers, a lot of managed ATA products for internet service providers. This product fits perfectly in not only with internet service providers, but managed service providers as well in the small to medium business market. And I kind of call it the Swiss Army knife of managed routers for ReadyNet, because we entail and incorporate quite a few things in this product that we'll go over. This is I'm just kind of scrolled down here just a little bit, and I apologize that our pictures are scrolling through here, but this is kind of the back of the interface. Let's see if I can get that to stay. May or may not stay, but basically what we've got is we have a gigabit router with actually three interfaces on this thing. We have a WAN interface, so you can do copper Ethernet into it. We have an SFP fiber interface in it, as well as also a 4G LTE router interface on this also. So it kind of incorporates a number of things. Now, the method to the madness. Why did we come up with the GSX 1204? We had a number of companies come to us in the voice space, carrier space, looking for a router that had 4 ATA ports on it. And you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ATA ports there that allow you to provision voice services for POTS line replacement. And with the new changes with the FCC last August now, carriers don't need to provide POTS line services or sell them. In fact, they're almost impossible to get. And if you do find them, the price point on them can be quite expensive. To be honest, I've heard anywhere between $50, and I had a customer back east tell me that they got a bill for $275 for their phone line, and I've heard other rumors that they're even higher than that. So this product was to help replace those analog lines that you might need. Now, what would they be used for? They could be used for a number of things. Call boxes, backdoor entry systems. They can be used for fax lines. They can also be used for alarm lines, elevator lines, call boxes in an elevator. If an elevator ever got stuck, they could call out using one of these. So there's a number of different applications, and we're seeing a lot of cases for these. in just about any environment. But these small to medium businesses, these small office buildings where they might have an elevator or alarm panel or a backdoor entry where they need to put a call box, this is where it's fitting in very well. Now, why are we doing this with all these other different interfaces? Well, why not take your managed gateway and manage the entire network? So if you want to route your traffic, if you got links, daisy chaining them down to other switches, you can be able to do that also. The other neat thing is we've got built-in LTE 4G failover. It can be used as your primary internet. I wouldn't recommend it. 4G bandwidth may or may not work in that area. But to handle mission critical items for a point of sale system, fax services, your FXS ports, and just the minimum things that you need to keep your business going, LTE can be a great solution. And it also offers the managed service provider the ability to remotely manage this product as well. So we do offer RN Control, a product that we've talked about in the past, and also Nexus for remote management. But on this product, we decided to go not with just one SIM card, but with dual SIM. And so you can actually set the secondary SIM slot as your management portal. So if you purchase a SIM card from your provider, your service provider, you can get it with a static IP address. Then you can go in and remotely manage these devices, out instead of sending a tech out into the field, you can manage these devices right from your office. And you can also do that from Tier 069 and Nexus. Now, with that said, Tier 069 is going to be limited in what it can do from a management perspective. From a Tier 069, you'll have a little bit more functionality, but you're still going to have some limitations. But with a managed SIM card, you'll be able to log right into the router as if you were directly connected to the router and make those changes, the routing programs, profiles as you needed. Sorry for the bings in the background. So just kind of scrolling down, this is what we're looking at. Features, integrated 4G LTE. There's the bands that we cover. Now, I did have this question come up before on another presentation. Our LTE data service is only data. It's not a voice over LTE. It is data only. So to provision your ATA lines on here, you'd need a SIP service provider. So we don't support voice over LTE on this. Dual SIM that we talked about, we got 802.11 AC on it, 2x2. Just kind of reading down the line here, we got built-in NAT firewall, protect you from ARP, or not ARP, but denial of service and ARP attacks. Gigabit SFP, WAN, and LAN ports. Okay, so you can basically, my screen's changing colors here, but you can change basically any type of interface that you would like if you've got fiber or not. Compact metal enclosure, it's 1U high. It does come with a mountable rack here, so if you do have a rack that you want to mount it in, you can. We use an Amphenol Molex type connector for the power. Two reasons why we do this. It actually provides strain relief on it. So you'll plug it in. It's just this little 4-pinner right here. And then we also have a recessed on-off switch. And we recessed it so it wouldn't accidentally get turned off. But if you want to manually turn that off, you can to disconnect your power. That is perfectly fine. So physical interfaces, we got the gig, WAN, and LAN interface. We got 4 gig LAN. one SFP, 4 RJ11s for FXS. Does not support FXO today. It is just FXS. We have 2 LTE antennas that are dedicated, and we have 2 2.4 gig antennas, and we have 2 5 gig antennas, and for the Wi-Fi. And then also we are doing the dual SIM slots. Now, why do we have dual SIM slots? There are companies that have requested, or customers that have requested dual SIMs to have dual redundancy in failover in not only in the router itself from your SFP or your WAN, but also on LTE failover. So let's say your internet goes down, you do fail over to LTE, but the data plan that you currently have maybe it's getting gobbled up, and the carriers is now reduced your bandwidth limitations for LTE. Then you could go into it and switch it over to the secondary SIM card. Power port reset button we talked about. Management, we do all the standard remote provisioning. We also have auto provisioning, HTTP, HTTPS, multi-level sub management system as well too. So you can actually provision this for other users to have restricted limitations on the management of the device once they log into it. Tier 69 Nexus we talked about, and then you can also do command line via SSH. Data sheet, you can pull those. This is all on our website here. That's probably where I should have gone, then I wouldn't have the rolling product, but there's what it looks like with the antennas. This is kind of the back view of the unit. You can still mount this vertically or horizontally on a wall if you needed to with the rack ears that are provided, or you can mount that into a rack. And just kind of some of the things that we show. Not only you can provide fax services, desktop, internet, printer, alarm panel, there's all kinds of different things that you can provide services for through those FXS ports as well. So one thing I wanted to show you, this is kind of what the GUI looks like. I'm just locally logged into this right now, and you'll see some things here that I probably may need to, we're good. I was gonna say probably protect, but I have to think as I type in this password here. But once you log into the DSX 1204, everything's right here in front of you on what's going on with the router. You can see your SIM card. We definitely have a SIM card that's in the device. We've got the system status. Our main link right here is Ethernet, so that's telling me that I am connected via Ethernet. This is good to know. Tells you if you're on SFP or on LTE, if you're in a failover when you log into this. Just your Ethernet status, your Ethernet on your WAN, your LAN, LTE status, your 2.4 and your 5 gig, and your FXS ports. And so anytime you want to go into any of these, I can just go right into it and set it up to configure and do my setup. For my voice, I just go into my configuration, set up my SIP services, and then just go right into my user devices and just go in and set those up. Save, apply, and these will automatically register or deregister based on how you want it set up. So great user portal interface, and you can do quite a few things on this as well. You can enable quality of service. You can do port mirroring. You can do access control. You can do multicast if you need to. You've got basically all the information that you need here on the left for the services, and you're good from there. Tier 69, our user management system that we just talked about, where I can give administrative, user, and guest access to it. And of course, you can always back up. I don't want to do that here. Always back up and restore your configurations, do your firmware updates as well. You basically have it all, everything and more that you would need, and you can manage it from the top or within the specific application that you're looking to work on. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to Julie. Julie, there's probably a bunch of questions that people have in regards to this product, and I'll throw it back to you.
Bill, you are absolutely right. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And I do have questions. Let's get started with the first one. Here we go. What features and capabilities does the GSX1204 gateway offer that set it apart from other similar products in the market?
That is a great question. And I get that one asked all the time. So there are competitive products out there. UMA has a product. Data Remote has a product, just to name a few. Granite, Epic also have products that are out there. Probably the biggest thing that is different from this product and all the other ones that are out there, to one major thing: you don't have to be tied to the service provider that you're buying the hardware from. So if you have your own voice switch and you want to provide your own services, great, you can do that. I'm not going to say you've got to buy my data plan from me, even though ReadyNet does offer it for customers if they need it. And I'm not going to tie you to my SIP trunking services as well. A lot of people are looking for these products, but they want to be able to control them and have ownership of it themselves for their customers. And so we are bringing you the tools, we're bringing you the hardware piece of it so you can do that yourself. And it's going to make it more price competitive for you to offer those services for your customers. Where the others, you have to buy their services, you got to buy their data plans, and it's like, okay, what's in it at the end of the day? There's not a lot. You can probably almost be priced right out of it. But this is a way that you can bring your own services. We've tested this on BroadSoft, Silhouette, toss it on Asterisk switches as well, and you should not run into any problems at all for provisioning this. But that is probably the main difference, is that you now have a hardware solution that you can brand yourself and provide for your customers.
Excellent, Bill. Thank you so much. And I'm glad we asked, and that one of our audience members asked such a great question. So thank you for that. Next one, what kind of technical support can one get for ReadyNet solutions, specifically for the GSX1204 gateway?
So if you're familiar with managing switches and routers and LTE equipment, or even if you just have a little touch on it, this is a very simple product to do. When we did our beta testing, we really didn't have a manual. In fact, our manual is still being finalized right now, but it's pretty intuitive on how to work this. And you can always call our customer support if you have a question. Our support page is always at the top here on ReadyNetSolutions.com website, and and you'll probably get a hold of me even if our support folks can't handle it. I'll be more than glad to help you out with that. But it is a very simple, intuitive box. Literally, you could just unplug it unbox it, plug it in, set up a few minimal settings on it for your APN for LTE, and set your Wi-Fi up with a password, and this thing would be working right out of the box.
Excellent. That's really good news, Bill. Thank you. And we always ask, where can we find all this incredible information on your website? And you always know exactly where to tell us, direct us exactly where to go. Okay, next question. What security measures are in place to protect the data and communications transmitted through the GSX 1204 gateway?
Great question. So on the SIP trunking, that is really determined by your SIP service provider. But I have not come across any SIP service providers that do not provide encryption or security layers for voice and data traffic that go over the FXS ports. For your Wi-Fi, you've got all your standard security protocols that we follow on Wi-Fi. And for encryption, for access to the box itself and allowing specific users to it, you can set that up in the management profile, and under manage users, you can select the users and the passwords. Now for our management portals, whether it's RN Control or Nexus, those are things that you provide to your in-cell support team that's secure on those platforms as well.
Excellent. Thank you, Bill. Next question. Are there any specific network bandwidth requirements for optimal performance of the gateway GSX 1204?
Not really. We've used this, we've got this being used during our beta program. We had fiber customers use it. We've had, just Ethernet customers use it. We haven't really run into any bandwidth limitations. I mean, other than the WAN interface is a gig interface. And so, in future products, you'll probably see a 2.5 gig or, even something bigger down the road, 10 gig even. But other than that, you shouldn't run into any constraints.
Thank you for that, Bill. Next question. Does each antenna signify a different wireless connectivity?
No. On the antennas, we have two 2.4 gig Wi-Fi antennas, which is standard. We have two 5 gig antennas, which are standard. So that's pretty straightforward. The LTE antennas there's a main antenna and a diversity antenna. It's basically a redundant antenna that a lot of the carriers like to use or be able to have access to both antennas, and that's how they manage their traffic. They are all removable SMA type connectors on it. So on LTE primarily, if you needed to add an external antenna or an amplifier to it, just because of its installation and the signal's low, you do have the ability to add an external antenna or an amplified antenna on that.
Thank you so much, Bill. Next question. What services manage the remote management, and is it free?
So repeat that first part again, Julie. Make sure I get that
Sure.
right. Not the second
No
part.
problem.
But repeat that.
What services? Yeah, what services manages the remote management, and is it free? Maybe we could go on to the next question if you'd like. It's up to you.
No, that's fine. I believe what they're asking for is, so all of the management is web-based. So you would actually go to rncontrol.com or nexus.readynetsolutions.com to access the management portals. And then from there, you actually have your login credentials that'll allow you to see your portal and all the devices that you have within your portal. From a cost standpoint, it's a great question. Cost is $49 for the portal access. And then depending on the level of services or access that you want to the device, it can be anywhere between 5 cents and 50 cents per month per device that is on the management portal. And you can
Excellent, thank you.
yeah,
Oh,
you can always
please.
try the management portal for free. Once you receive product, you can sign up. You get up to 20 devices for free. And then when you hit the 21st device that you add to the network, then that's when you need to set up your billing cost on it. So.
Thank you so much, Bill, for that. Last question here for you. Can I use this device for trade shows and pop-up internet services all over California?
That's a great question. Sure. I've known people that have done that. They've taken some of our other LTE products and used that in trade shows. Because if you've ever had to pay for internet at a trade show, you'll know how expensive that can be. And so, yeah, this is a very, very cost-effective solution. You would pay for this device and your data services, your LTE services after your first trade show, and you would probably pocket some money in your pockets.
Wow, no wonder that question was asked. That makes so much sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bill, thank you for answering all of those questions for us today. And thank you for everyone for attending. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep, or you could email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products shown here today, please remember that this presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we can all view it again. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. And I know we're going to be having you join us again in the not too distant future to follow up with some more wonderful ReadyNet Solutions products.
Yes, lots of new products this summer that are coming out. We're very, very excited to share those with everyone. And thanks again, Julie, for allowing me to be on your show.
You are welcome. Happy to have you, Bill. And until next time, everybody have a fantastic day.